Welcome to West London. Welcome to the Twickenham Stoop, home of the Premiership and the Premier 15 champions. What celebrations have taken place this summer? The parties have been long and memorable. It wasn't just winning the trophies, it was the way that they did it. A club full of self-belief and skillful assurance. But what of this season? How difficult will it be to follow all that? It all starts again over, and the fans are filling into this famous old ground just down the road from Rugby HQ. It is great to have them here and wonderful to be on Facebook and YouTube and other platforms for your viewing pleasure. Some special guests alongside me, Sam Roberts in commentary this afternoon. We will speak to them in a moment, but a little bit earlier I caught up with one back, one forward and one very new, fresh out the packet head coach. Joe Marchant, Archie White and first Tabai Matson all spoke to me a few minutes ago. Tabai Matson, first official kind of engagement for Harlequins. How are you feeling?
Yeah, excited. Yeah, I really am. I mean, it's a pre-season warm-up, and we're going to see a lot of players kind of go on and off the field, but it's always good to play at the Stoop. For me, I've been watching on TV for the last few months, so it's good to finally be here. Just
talk about the last few weeks and months, obviously, that the preparation has been. How do you go about it, integrating yourself into a side? I speak to a lot of directors of rugby who come into setups. What are your first go-tos as regards ingratiating yourself with the surroundings?
Well, it's always about people, isn't it? Rugby clubs, rugby teams, any organisation. So for me, it's really getting to know everybody. A stack load of players. I think I now know 90 new names. But, you know, one of the great things about rugby is you come in and the pre-season's pretty organised. They've got a great Eastern C group. They've been leading the program. And I just tag in and kind of been adding value where I can. The coaching group is really well organised, and the pre-season was well planned before I arrived, so it's really just learning as much as I can, getting to know the players better and better. And probably today is probably a key day in the fact that it's about selection now. You know, we're trying to be as ready as we can for Newcastle, which is only a couple of weeks away, and that's the real focus. Get through this game unscathed.
You mentioned it there. Is it a little bit more difficult or different for you? You come in to a group of 4 people who won the Premiership Championship last year. How has that been, and how have you worked to, I suppose, because the point I'm making is that many directors of rugby bring their own team or bring their own people. Yeah. You haven't done that, and perhaps quite rightly so. Talk about how that's worked.
Well, I think it's a real simple one. I don't think it mattered if they won it or didn't win it. When you come to a new organisation that's a club like this that is performing really well, it's really about adding value and continuing what they've done so well. So, you know, really for me, I'm here to learn. I've learned a stack load in the last 5 weeks, and you've got to do that before you ask any real questions. So, but it's exciting because there's a real sense of optimism, as there always is in the pre-season, around what this year looks like. Clearly the context has changed with the season coming up, but a lot of excitement and optimism. You see a lot of young guys that we saw glimpses of last year, and some more young guys, which is the future of the club. So that's pretty cool to be part of that today.
I asked Joe Marchant this question, I'll ask you. Obviously Harlequins did some pretty special things last season, but you'll want to be doing even better. What are the things that Harlequins need to do better this season? What are you thinking about concentrating on?
Well, I think one of the things they did well, and most of them will say this is the reason they were successful when it mattered at the end, was they were true to the way they played. You know, they played a Harlequin style and put lots of teams under pressure. And then when it really mattered, the whole group stepped up and they played exceptionally well. With regard to improvements, they're all really clear. We're really lucky with the likes of Joe Marlin, Nick Evans, Danny Kerr, who are here in 12, that if you stand still, you're going to get overtaken. You're going to get swamped by the competition. So they realise that they've got to move, and they've got to see progress from, the trophy two months ago. It's irrelevant when you get to round 1. So they know that they've got to improve in lots of areas, and I think that's the exciting thing. Change is hard for human beings, so when you come in, when you know that they want to move and they want to progress, it becomes easier when they're motivated to do that.
Certainly today is going to be about some players wanting to make their mark. What do you say to those players? Go out and give it everything and see where you go? I mean, how do you manage that?
Yeah, I think if you're going to be successful, they've got to do it within the team framework, so which is exciting because the framework here is expensive. But, we're playing Cardiff, they've come a long way to bash us. And so the underpinning everything in rugby is a physical component. So for all of them, they'll have to make sure they bring that first. But some of them do have to, will have to make an impact. You know, we've got a great roster, and if they want to put their best foot forward, it starts with today. They're not going to get 2 or 3 games to roll into it, so expect a little bit of fireworks out there.
Really good to speak to you. Good luck this afternoon. Good luck this season. Well, Joe, thank you for joining us. A smile on your face. It's another new season. What has it felt like this summer?
Yeah, it's been a crazy summer, to be honest. I mean, all the boys were celebrating the win for a long time. Probably a bit too long, but yeah, we're back now. We've had a good pre-season and we're ready to kick it off the first game today. Now,
you're not playing. Talk about your little bit of frustration you were saying off camera there. You desperately want to play, but it is a patient process getting back in.
Yeah, I was obviously wanted to play today so bad, but you know, you've got to trust the S&C here. You've got to trust all the staff, and you know, they're saying that maybe this week's not the one because I haven't been back too long, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll get to play. And yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it.
Few new faces amongst the squad.
Yeah.
One big one at the top.
Yeah.
How have you been treating him? Have you been nice to Tabai Matson?
He's nice. I haven't really, obviously, none of the new lads have been in for too long, so we've only had a couple of brief conversations. But he seems to have settled in really well. Really friendly face, always easy to chat to, and I think he's going to do well.
It's always difficult, a pre-season game. It's not the same as a league game. Cardiff come here, you've got a double header against them as well.
Yeah.
Talk about what the players will be thinking about today. Is it all about putting a marker down, trying to put your best foot forward?
I think so. It's always about putting your best foot forward, but for us at Quins, it's always about playing your part in the team. So there's so many boys here today who haven't got as much game time in the last couple of months or year that they'd like to, and they've got a real opportunity today, so they'll be absolutely buzzing to get out there. But if they play the way we play as Quins, then they'll all be lighting out.
As a team, you achieved so much last season, but I know as a team you will be thinking about what you can do better.
Yeah.
You share that with us. What sort of things are you thinking about being a better Harlequins this season?
There's obviously a big one, which is our defence, which we always speak about, it's an ongoing thing. We're trying to really front up and make sure that we're a really good defensive outfit as well. But in terms of our attack, it's just about emulating what we've been doing last season, but also stepping that up and really not letting any teams have a minute off or whatever. Make sure that we've got the ball in play, we've got the ball in our hands, and we're playing some really good rugby.
Now the fans are just about traipsing in.
Yeah.
How good does it feel to have this buzz just building again at the Stoop?
Yeah, it's so good. It's always great to obviously have fans, but the fact that we're back to normal, it'll be really special today. And I mean, although we didn't have as many fans at the end of last season, the noise it made compared to when there wasn't any was amazing. So everyone will be really excited today, and really looking forward to hearing all the fans today.
Well done. Get back soon.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, Archie, kind of welcome back to the Harlequins Stoop. How are you feeling? How's pre-season been? And what's going to happen this afternoon?
Yeah, really excited about today. We've had quite a short block of pre-season because winning the championship makes it a little bit shorter. So it's been really nice. We sort of got straight into rugby, running on the sideline and getting into it kind of thing. So we just flown straight into it. I'm super excited today. There's a few young lads out there today looking to get their first chance and stuff like that. So yeah, really excited to see what goes on. I think it'll be a good game.
How do you approach it? Because pre-season games are a little bit different. You've got a double header against these guys. You've got a home and away. What's the talk in the changing room about how you go about approaching this sort of game? Do you break it down into simplicity? Do you make it simple, or do you try something a bit more complicated?
Yeah, so we've got a few new lads coming in, so I think keeping it simple will be key for the first sort of hit out. It's still a massive challenge for us, and Cardiff will present good pictures for us going forwards. So I think keep it simple, but then make sure we focus on ourselves. I think that's a big thing for us this week. We spoke about doing the best we can do and sort of following on from what we did last year. Focus on ourselves will be the biggest thing, I reckon.
Absolutely, and as regards, I asked Joe Marsh on this, and as regards looking to be better, I mean, you did achieve great things as a club last year, but you will be looking to try and go that extra couple of steps. Personally speaking, pack speaking, team speaking, what sort of things do you want to do better?
Yeah, 100%. As a team, I reckon we don't want to settle. We want to keep pushing, and we want to strive for the two championships. Push in Europe. So this will be a big test for us. Like you said, playing them in the future will be a massive sort of pinpoint for us. And for me myself, just trying to play as consistent as possible. you only learn from playing. I think that's the biggest thing. And for younger lads out there, learning is when you play. And I think for me, yeah, just trying to play as much as possible.
Talking to my media colleagues, we kind of worked out that this Premiership season is so difficult to predict. There are so many good teams in there. Do you feel that as players? Do you look down it and go, this is going to be another really tough campaign?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very tough. You know, you can't take any games for granted. You know, we've got to go out there and put our best performances on the pitch every week. You know, and hopefully it'll be a good squad rotation. It'll give lots of people chances. But we've all got to step up to that level that we performed to last year. So I think definitely, yeah. There's no easy games anymore. Yeah, and I've got Alex Donbran in co-commentary with me today. I mean, do you think he'll go well? Yeah, I think he'll go well. You know, really well. Yeah, he's a confident fella. So yeah, I'm sure we'll talk some good stuff. So yeah. Have a good one today. Perfect. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, welcome to the Twickenham Stoop. Wonderful to hear from those players, Joe Marchant and Archie White, and especially lovely to hear from Tabai Matson as well before the game. And the crowds are pouring in at Twickenham Stoop, of course, starved of rugby over the last 18 months or so, and desperate to see their champions in the flesh. We have some team news for you. It's going to be difficult this afternoon, no doubt about it, bringing team news to you, making sure who is who and what's going on. So we will try and do our best, but we have squads out there, and certainly this is how we think it's going to line up as far as Harlequins are concerned. A lot of new faces, or relatively new faces, out there with some more experienced ones as well. Perhaps special mention to a centre partnership of Hugh Jones and Luke Northmore. Good to see the back row in Luke Wallace and Tom Lauday. He's going to be joined by Makeen Ali Khan as well. Dino Lamb and Matt Simmons join up in the second row, and a halfback partnership of Lewis Gyaltema and Will Edwards as well. So some good stuff there, and Cardiff as well. We think we have the 15. They've just come out onto the pitch. It could change, of course, but this is perhaps what Cardiff will look like. They're playing in their traditional blue. No mention of blues anymore as far as this team is concerned, just Cardiff Rugby, but experience all across the park, and names of Jason Tovey and Reece Gill, Kirby Myhill, of course, captaining from Booker, Jason Harris, Matthew Morgan will be a real threat at the back as well, and of course internationals in Ellis Jenkins and 6th Shane Lewis Hughes. Should be a very good occasion this afternoon, pre-season though it is. Should be done in anger, most certainly. Alongside me, two very special people. I'm delighted to bring them in. First and foremost, Alex Donbran and Christian Scotland Williamson. Welcome, boys. How are we? Alex Donbran, you first. What's that summer been like? My goodness. Have the parties stopped?
Yeah, just about. Yeah, like you said, it was a summer to remember for sure. So yeah, and I enjoyed my time off, and been back in for pre-season. So looking forward to watching today, and then hopefully being involved in the near future.
And Christian, a little bit different for you. Where have you been? I last saw you smashing lumps out of people at Worcester. Someone said to me you've been across the pond fishing.
Yeah, that was about 4 years ago. I've been on a bit of a journey since. I went to America, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and now I'm back to rugby to finish a few things off.
Good. I'm glad you said unfinished business. It's nice to hear. And of course, Harlequins will be looking after you, no doubt, making you feel very much at home.
Oh, most definitely. You can already hear it now. First home game. Really looking forward to it.
Listen to that noise. Oh, they've missed it. A few fireworks to go with the fireworks that took place last June. We will reminisce a little perhaps during this game, but this is about the new season. This is about almost trying to top that and go a little bit better. And a pre-season game against a very competent Welsh Regions outfit in Cardiff Rugby. And it should be quite the occasion. We have some very accomplished officials. Christoph Ridley is the man in the middle. Adam Leal and Phil Waters on the flank. Ball is kicked into the 22, and Cardiff will try and set themselves up a little bit. Work of James Ratty there as number 4 on his back. Jamie Hill made his debut last season for Cardiff at scrum half, and a good opportunity for him, and he clears well and almost gets it into the bin. Alex Donbran, can I bring you in and talk about what you're expecting? What sort of things are going through these players' minds in a pre-season game?
Probably a few nerves to start with. I think your first game of the season is always a bit of nerves kicking around, but I think it's important to get your hands on the ball early, get your first tackle in and really feel your way into the game.
New lad Nick David gets his hands on the ball. Geltema, Lorde tries to bring in Northmore. Geltema again. Good look at Will Edwards wearing the number 10 shirt. Obviously a lot of noise about the Harlequins number 10 over the last year or so. And of course he sat about 50 yards away. Marcus Smith won't be involved just yet. It'll be a while until we see him. So Harlequins have questions at 10. Ball is knocked on. CSW, if I can call you that, because otherwise we'll be here quite a while. Talk about your reintegration and how it sort of manifests itself. I mean, I think the S&C team have still got their hands all over you, haven't they? They're still working on you?
Oh, most definitely. It's a long reconditioning phase to rugby. The demands of American football compared to rugby are very different, especially anaerobically compared to the aerobic game of rugby. So a lot of running, a lot of conditioning and a lot of fitness, so I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time it's a process to get back on the field, so it's one that I have to take.
Been in the scrum yet?
I actually haven't been in the scrum in almost 4 years, so it's been a while.
You can't wait for that experience, that's for sure.
Let's go again, control please. Nice and quick.
The scrum is resetting and Christoph Ridley is having a little chat. The front rows, Rhys Gill, Kirby Myhill and Will Davis-King. The youngster Will Davis-King at number 3 at tight head. And Santiago Garcia-Bota, George Head, another youngster, and Craig Trenier wearing 3 for Harlequins. Always a tough time, first scrum, first look, first go against each other. Looks a strong platform at the moment for Cardiff. And Jamie Hill will feed this back line. A large figure of Max Llewellyn, who Alex Donbran knows quite well, having played rugby with him at Cardiff Met. Into the back line it goes. Alid Summerhill wearing 14 on his back. He and Jason Harries combining just briefly on the far side.
Option fellas, line out or scrum. Line out called, lads, line out called. Good on you, thank you.
Goes out for a line out and a brief discussion.
Fellas, I'll keep my odds up.
You changed many calls over the summer, Alex. Has there been a lot of changes, or is there just small shifts in the sort of things like a functioning line-out?
Yeah, no major sort of changes, just small little tweaks here and there, and just making sure we're all on the same page, I think, and that's what we'll use these pre-season games for, is to get everyone on the same page and get everyone singing off the same hymn sheet.
Geltema will look downfield and hoist it into the air. Well taken, especially well taken by Jason Harries, who clambers through the tackles. Cardiff, good offloading, keeps the ball alive. Ball is presented. Thornton. Garen Smith is going to have to work hard. A little offload, tiptoe down the touchline, and they'll come back for the forward pass, which will please the rather large amount of people on this side. Harlequins packing themselves in, of course they wouldn't miss this. Good crowd. Good to see everyone back, isn't it? Fantastic.
Yeah, great to see such a big crowd for a pre-season game, and yeah, hopefully we can get some good crowds in this season now that hopefully the restrictions to crowd numbers are lifted.
Don't forget the ladies as well. The women playing tomorrow, Harlequins versus Loughborough. If you're around in this part of town, it would be good to see you here. Geltema limited opportunities last season, and he'll see this as a big opportunity, won't he, Alex?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got such a competitive group of scrum halves at the club, and it's great to see him getting an opportunity today, and hopefully he goes well.
Man into the middle. Hugh Jones, not mentioned about him. Could be a key player, of course, competitive with the giant Andre Esterhazen. Should be very interesting to see how the Scotland International goes in Harlequins colours this season. Northmore dummies the ball inside, a little bit of space. And Hugh Jones. And it's those sort of moments. Makeen Ali Khan had come inside and Hugh Jones passed to absolutely no one. It will happen, won't it, gents? It will happen this afternoon. Just those little bits of communication is what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. I think first of all it's great utilisation of the space out wide, and just unfortunately couldn't execute in the wide channels. But no, great signs early doors to get into the wide areas with some space.
Okay, wait, Quins, wait.
Chisholm unfortunately kicks that one all the way out, and he won't be happy with himself.
Brilliant work, lads. Well done.
I think it's going to be interesting with the new 50-20 rule to see how both teams utilise their kicking in the middle third.
Okay, we'll put you on notice of that. Christian's going to definitely keep his eye out for a 50-22 kick. Good tackle in the midfield. Cardiff, swift hands. Matthew Morgan, Nipper they call him. You have to keep your eye on him. He's exceptionally quick in small spaces. Cardiff again building. Good work. Alan Lawrence tumbles through the gap. Garen Smith goes almost back against the tide. Lawrence again. Well kept alive. Cardiff down this left hand side. They're making hay. Jason Harris pushing towards that corner.
Back foot, back foot.
Good quick ball they're dealing with at the moment, Cardiff. Hill tumbles towards it, looks as though he's stretched out. Max Llewellyn, and I think it's been given. And it is your old mate, Alex Donbran. Max Llewellyn, who clambers over for the score. And patient play, good quick hands, and Harlequins having to reorganise and get themselves sorted. Alex Donbran.
Yeah, no, great line from Max Llewellyn there, just to get in between two defenders and just about get over for the try. But yeah, look, these things are going to happen today. It's about how we react and how we then get down the other end and get points of our own.
73 minutes.
Yeah, scything and then the repositioning of it. I can see Hugh Tizard on the pitch. Is that right?
Yeah, Big Hugh's playing. No, great to see him out there as well. I think last season he was one of the standouts in terms of young players coming through. I think he got his chance against Munster away, and I think he played exceptionally well. So no, it's great to see him out there, and hopefully he can get some good game time this season.
Yeah, you've got so many of the likes of Jack Kenningham comes to mind. You know, with obviously the wonderful things that Evans was doing, and then he got injured, and you wondered what was going to happen. Kenningham stepped up. Lewis Liner is another one. You know, these young lads were given an opportunity, and I think what was most remarkable was that they all seemed to grab it with both hands.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the Harlequins way as well, you know, blooding these young academy players through, and to be fair to them, all of them stepped up, like you say. Kenningham, Liner, you know, all these young boys really took their chance and put their hand up. So it's about now trying to back that up this season.
Edwards' kick goes long. Summerhill is the man to gather it for Cardiff. Myhill working hard on the floor.
Use it.
Jamie Hill will hoist this back over his shoulder. Chisholm will go back and try and get hold of the ball. Thinks about it quickly. Keltema puts his hand up as if to say no. Line-up will be Harlequins.
Okay, just timing.
And youngster George Head with the throw finds Lauday and illegally so, says the referee. Not straight, so they will come back.
What would you like, fellas?
How much time is spent just on line-outs? Do you integrate it at all? Is it something you just go and do for a period of time and spend doing over and over again? How does it work?
Yeah, we specifically set time aside on both the scrum and the line out each week. Probably equal amounts, maybe a bit more in favour of the line out, just because I think of the technicalities across all positions rather than the scrum more being a front three focused. But yeah, I mean, the way the game is at the moment, set piece is crucial, and I think if you can get an upper hand in a set piece, then you know it gives you a great platform to kick on in a game. So it's a big area that I think a lot of teams focus on.
Christian, you were self-deprecating earlier, talking about the fact that almost you'd forgotten about this game, but of course you hadn't, you know it, and even now, stood here, is it kind of those sort of feelings coming back to you? You're thinking, yeah, I remember. Talk about lineouts, for instance.
Oh, most definitely. An NFL playbook and a lineout menu aren't too dissimilar. It's just a difference in volume. So it's been good to be back and then get in the film room with a few of the guys and understand, well, that was a very American phrase, film room, watch tape, as they say over there, but it all comes back very quickly.
Luke Wallace doing what he does very well. Back at the club, of course, and picking pockets, as was his wont.
Classic, Luke Wallace still there. Great position over the ball and just nicked it away.
Summerhill. Matthew Morgan wearing that familiar scrum cap, if you've ever watched him play, rarely without it, and they have to turn. Northmore's going to have to be clever here. It's a difficult prospect he faced, and the ball is squirted into the hands of Cardiff, and they come this way, and a little kick through, and Summerhill is sniffing. Nick David is quick, and the ball will roll end over end and out of the dead ball area. And I think we might have a 22 restart. You mentioned new laws a little bit earlier, Alex. I mean, have you got together and talked about that? I mean, is that a lot of media friends, broadcast friends are talking about how certain things will affect certain teams? You know, perhaps the 50-22 will be an advantage to a certain type of team. Have you spoken about that?
Yeah, so we were lucky enough to have Wayne Barnes actually come in the week, and he gave a sort of 30-minute presentation on the 2 or 3 new laws for this season. And yeah, there's only a couple, but I think it is going to potentially change the way teams look to play. I think especially that 50-22 rule in terms of kicking in the middle third to try and get a line out back in the...
Garen Smith takes I'll have to hold you there, Alex, because Cardiff have opened up Harlequins, and a feed on to Hill, and Hill goes underneath the posts. A lovely misdirection with the eyes in the midfield, and Garen Smith strode through the gap, and perhaps somewhat disappointing, but well made by Cardiff. Credit to them and their magician opening the gap.
I think defensively as well, it's just about those pre-season jitters, relationships, some new combinations on the field, and I think it's showing in the first half, but hopefully the boys will settle down.
Yeah, it is always difficult. You can never read too much into pre-season games. And certainly the ebb and flow of it, definitely.
He's under no pressure there. It's a choice, isn't it?
This is also the time to be making those kinds of mistakes before you get to the games that matter. So it carries weight, but weight that can be fixed.
Yeah.
Jason Toby scored over 1,000 points for Newport Gwent Dragons, and now in Cardiff colours, the blue and the blacks, lining up a couple of extra points here. Relatively straightforward. So Harlequins 2 tries down, if you're just joining us. Pre-season game. Almost, I would say, about maybe 5,000 in here. We'll get an official figure, but good crowd at the Twickenham Stoop. But welcome to you wherever you are. Lawrence, the number 8 for Cardiff, underneath this one. Brought down.
9, use it.
Hill, the try scorer. That's a good kick. No, it's gone all the way out. Yep. Thought it might have just bounced in. So they'll come all the way back, and some extra yardage for Quins, and an opportunity in which to strike.
Yeah, a great platform here for Quins to really try and get some good phases of possession together in the final third. So hopefully we can do a set play here and try and come away with some points.
That is the voice of Alex Donbran alongside me and Christian Scotland Williamson in commentary for you. The line-out didn't seem to work. That didn't go the way it should have done. Luke Wallace does well to keep the ball in, but it is adjudged to have gone. There's a knock-on from Cardiff.
Just a bit of miscommunication there. I think you can see in the detail it's still some new systems being installed, and hopefully that communication will be cleared up.
First commentator's curse of my commentating career.
It happens a lot. You can't really help it, unfortunately. We'd all rather you were playing, Alex. I don't, lovely though it is to have you up here.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Scrum is solid from Harlequins. Into the midfield they come. Jones and Edwards combine. David onto it. Good pace from the former Worcester man. Edwards trying to thread the needle. And it bounces into touch. And this crowd, it does not take much for this crowd to suddenly light up, does it? It's a fantastic feeling to hear them all go. Trying to make up for it all and what they missed out on last season. But again, good space found by the back line. And Nick David, I mean, you would have been training with him and seen him. He's a good player. Good pick-up from Worcester.
Yeah, no, a great start of play from the backs there, and yeah, touching on Nick David, he's electric, so hopefully we can get his hands on the ball as much as possible and get him in some space and see what he can do. But yeah, no, great start of play there. Good dummy lines to hold the defenders and good creation of space. Just unfortunately, just couldn't get that last pass away.
I'll ask you a question about competition within pre-season and how important it is to be looking at those that theoretically are in competition for you for a shirt, a number. You will know who it is. How much do you look across and just check out what they're doing and push yourselves against the people that you should be pushing yourselves against?
Yeah, I think there's lots of competition in training.
That would be brilliant. If you
look
can.
at positions across the board and the competition and the talent that we've got in those positions. I mean, you look at the centres and how much talent we've got there, and each one of those boys will be vying for a place come Newcastle, but also helping each other along the way, trying to make each other better every day, every week, to then help the team and the whole performance. So no, competition can only be healthy. So yeah,
Cardiff do well to come down with that line out. They'll build from their own 22. Goes all the way back to Toby, whose left boot probes and searches out that touchline.
Lads, you're clearly offside.
Christian, what things have you brought back from the NFL? What good stuff can you think that rugby can benefit from as far as the American football game?
I think the biggest difference is the analysis. They go into microscopic detail about everything. You can watch the same clip for hours on end and find different things to pick up on. So even in the brief time that I've been back and with Harlequins, there's certain small bits of detail that before when I was playing at Worcester, I wouldn't have really picked up on and wouldn't have noticed. But that carryover from review into training and then into a game is crucial. So hopefully I'll be able to share a few tips with the boys and a few things I brought back with me from the States.
A little look at Connor Slevin there with his 14 on his back. Former Whitgift boy out of the Harlequins Academy, another winger looking to impress. Edwards, lovely line. Almost not more thought about throwing it back inside, but discretion, the better part of valour. David hot stepping his way and unceremoniously dumped by Shane Lewis Hughes. Galtema. Back line again. Chisholm finds Laude. Hugh Tizard does well to spin out of the tackle.
Unlucky, good work.
Pass goes behind Dino Lamb and Craig Trenier does the honours, plays conduit. Chisholm again, Lauday, little bit of space for Northmore. Takes 2 people on. Summerhill in the way. George Head doing well. Decent passage of play this. Ball in hand, and as I speak, Hugh Jones tries to knock it over Matthew Morgan's shoulder. Morgan responds. Oh, tap and go. No, didn't work. Cardiff have got it. Morgan, side down. And good counter opportunity here for the men in blue. Wide it goes. Good space opened up. Down this right-hand side is Summerhill.
That's fine, that's fine.
Will the ball stay in or bounce awkwardly? Lauday just about recognises which way it's going to go. Max Llewellyn was sniffing.
Okay, lost now.
Great play by Lauday there to just clear up the crumbs. Could have easily bounced to, I think it was Max Llewellyn there to go over, but Lauday did a great job to clean up there.
Harlequins have to build from their own 5-metre line.
Okay, Quins, use now. Timing, fellas.
Geltemer is going to pull this back with his foot and a flatter kick, but still it goes out. Cardiff want to play. Morgan makes a meal of it.
Okay, play on.
Says it's gone backwards. It's a pre-season call if ever I saw one. Cardiff benefit though. They won't mind. They get the ball. Lawrence, who's been busy in this opening 21 minutes or so. That looked like it was forward as well. And they do give that one. Christian, what sort of things are you seeing out there? It was a good passage of play from Harlequins, you know, keeping the ball in hand and just getting used to those phases running through them.
When we keep the ball in hand, we're dangerous. I think everyone knows that across the league, and it's one of those things where off strike and off multi-phase, people can't really live with us. So it's keeping the ball in hand, being clinical, making good decisions, and not rushing it. I think that when we go through the phases, we look good, but when we try and force things, that's when the ball goes into touch or we get knock-ons.
And it sounds like the $64,000 question, but how do you know when to go and when to keep?
That
is the hard bit. That is the hard bit. That's when you decide to go out the front, play the front football, or go out the back. I think at the moment we could win the game line a bit more, start playing our bigger men up front and hit those front runners, because sometimes it's a bit predictable going out the back all the time. I think that would be something to switch up, give them a different picture to defend.
Alex, do you think that there will be, and perhaps it's an obvious point, there will be more people looking at you guys and studying your game? There will be more people having watched that semi-final and final of last season and be thinking, how do we undo this? Do you feel that coming this season?
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, it's only natural when you win the league, everyone's going to probably look at you that little bit closer, but I think that's where we can't sit still. We can't just accept that what we did last year is going to work for us again. Obviously, we take the majority of what we did last year as it worked so well for us, but it's about improving, looking to improve all the time, little areas that we can do better, and just still try and stay that one step ahead of the opposition.
And not head on head, you two, please. I don't think that's helping. Fine. Offside, pre-engaged.
Penalty goes Cardiff's way.
I just
I'm
told
just
you about
checking
space.
the numbering here. I might have got it wrong. Apologies to Cardiff fans. I'm just being told.
We literally just spoke about
I
it.
may have been confusing two wingers. Cardiff, meanwhile, kick to the corner. I have. Did you know that?
Yeah, Aled Summerhill's number 11, right?
What did you tell me when I was getting it wrong?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
You're not even listening to me, are you?
Enjoying the spectacle, enjoying the spectacle.
I'll try and make up for that. Cardiff do well. Lovely offloading game. Fantastic Llewellyn. Yeah, just about holds on to the ball. Does really well. Thought he might have spilt it there. Good interplay to open Harlequins up once more. Cardiff, whoever is on what wing. Cardiff are in the ascendancy at the moment.
New advantage. It's advantage, lads. Keep playing.
To the line they go, and the hand reaches out and gets over the line. Difficult to see whose hand that was. Congratulations, rein in. I think number 8, is it? Yeah, Lawrence is getting a few taps on the back. He may well have been the man who puts it down. And at the moment, Cardiff seem to be the ones with the key to the door. What can you see that might be the issue here, Alex? I know it's difficult from up here, and you're in amongst it. But what can you see that might be needing to be sorted out from Harlequins' point of view?
Yeah,
I think credit to Cardiff there. I think it was off their start play, off the line out there. They got good gain line, and then obviously a couple of good offloads to get away, which sometimes can be hard to stop. But I think if you can get a dominant hit on that first phase off the line out and sort of stunt the momentum, then it makes it harder for them to get into phase play. So really try and focus on that first phase.
You don't want to be a latcher. I think you've got to clearly show us you're not a latcher.
Jason Tovey is lining up another kick. Christian, I can ask you the same question. What are you spotting? And obviously different pair of eyes, different sort of setup. What are you thinking?
I think Cardiff being very direct. I think that's where they're causing us problems. It's the first up collision and then being able to get offloads. I think we need to get man and ball, stop his momentum. And like Alex said, then all the rest will stop their momentum coming around the corner. And then they won't be able to get front foot ball on us.
Yeah, a couple of substitutions being made. Scott Steele has come on, wearing number 21. And who's wearing 16 over there?
If the jackers leave it,
that's Sam Riley.
Sam Riley.
Fresh off a Grand Slam campaign alongside Finn Baxter. So
I was just about to mention that. You got there before me. Well done. Yes, England under 20s. I remember Sam Riley scoring quite a nice little try for England as well.
I think he scored a few, to be fair to him.
Good products coming through the Harlequins Academy. Chisholm trying to work his way through a crowded area. A little bit of space down this left-hand side. Nick David's feet just about stay in touch. Scott Steele wrestling his way to the floor. Chisholm has to play the ball as it's out. Northmore puts his head down. Big, strong tackles coming from the Cardiff defence. Steele goes this left-hand side. Journier. And unfortunately off their feet. And a relatively simple penalty to give away. And even at this start, in its infancy this season, it will be frustrating to give away simple penalties, won't it, Christian?
Of course, I think that all comes down to the speed of ball. Cardiff doing very well at slowing us down, and we play well off quick ball, fast phases, multiple phases. And giving away penalties like that, you could tell the boys didn't really know what to do with that short side, and so it had a bad outcome.
And they punted it up to the 22-metre line. Captain Kirby Myhill, nephew of Mark Ferrigo. The older men amongst you and ladies amongst you might recognise that name. Good line out set from Cardiff, and they roll around. And they're tiptoeing a little bit closer to that Cardiff line. Shakes of the head from the two men alongside me. Hill comes into the midfield. Llewellyn, son of Gareth Llewellyn, Max Llewellyn. They go the same way. Once again, Harlequins are going to have to be watertight here. Good quick hands from Cardiff Blues have opened them up 3 times before. Can they do it again? It's a good tackle. And Sam Riley into the action and hitting people low. Lewis Hughes. Ball slightly exposed and Harlequins interested. Riley comes away with it. This could interest things. Hugh Jones. Jones does well. Sets it up now. Here is Nick David. Lauder clears out. Riley there to help as well. Scott Steele. Edwards with a neat pass on. Hugh Tizard does well to extricate himself. Steele again. Edwards. Northmore. Little bit of space out here. Nice flat pass out onto the right-hand wing. Chance of Harlequins. Calls out. Northmore dives to the floor again, thinks about the offload. Lamb plays conduit. Riley, that little goose step of his that you saw in the Six Nations Under-20 Championship, almost employed there. Tizard, who almost began the whole thing. Riley again. Little duck inside from him. Can they keep the ball? Can they open them up? Edwards. Tackle coming in from the side means Northmore can't get rid of it. Jones tumbles through and they've exposed it. No, and they'll come back offside.
Offside number 6.
Looking dangerous in multi-phase. Hugh Tizard with a few monstrous carries there.
A lot of players on their knees.
And explain what that does and how that does. Just that extra 2 or 3 metres. It changes the dynamic of the breakdown, doesn't it?
If the defence need to retreat 2 or 3 metres before they can get off the line, it means that they can't come off as aggressively. So for us, with as dangerous backs as we have in broken play and open field, it means it gives them more time on the ball, more time to get it wide, and then they can't live with us.
Yeah, just starting to get a feel. It's been a little bit of a sticky opening half an hour or so for Harlequins, but it is just starting to click. And the more you, sounds obvious, Alex, but the more you have the ball and you have the phases, the more the confidence starts to sort of seep through.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the first time that these boys playing have carried into live contact multiple times. Obviously, you do a bit of live contact in training, but this is the first time that for a while that we're getting some live carries and tackles in. So these things will come, opportunities will come. It's just got about that continuity that we had there.
Huge cheer for Andre the Giant. On he comes. Now, I know you wouldn't have played directly against Andre Esterhuizen, but you would have come into contact with him in some shape or form. He seems ridiculously large for someone who should play in the centre.
Yeah, I mean, I try and avoid him as much as possible in training, to be honest with you. I always try and run on the same team as him.
Hugh Jones is the man who comes off. Good opening salvo from Hugh Jones. I think he will be a popular player down here in West London. All the markings of a Harlequins player. Good line out there. Better set. Cardiff try and spoil it. Dino Lamb is upset with being pulled to the ground, but gets back to business. The maul spins a little. Now the ball is in the hands of the scrum half, Steele. Good strength to stay on his feet. And here is Esterhuizen, straight back into business. Face full of Cardiff. Still gets the ball back. Steele, lurch for the line, I think. Has he got over? Yeah, he has. Difficult to see from here. We'll work out who comes up with the ball. Maybe Lauder. I think it is the back row forward. Is the man being pulled back to his feet. Well, it wasn't perhaps picture perfect in terms, but it is a score and it is commodity in this game, Alex Donbran.
Yeah, no, definitely. It all started from a great line-out set-up and then a few hard carries and then Tommy just sneakily ducking over there from close range. But no, that's what happens when you get a good set piece, good platform to go off, a few hard carries, shorten the defence and then get your tries and get your reward.
Christian, talk to people who might be listening about the amount of communication that needs to happen in that phase. It looks as though it's just a load of forwards pushing and jumping and sort of doing this, but there's a huge amount of talking and working out, isn't there, as that happens?
When you have high field position and a set piece in that area, it's all about communication. It's all about keeping a cool head and making sure you set a platform so that you can convert and get points. So the biggest thing is getting the call in, making sure everyone understands what their roles are, staying calm, clear heads, and following through with it.
Yeah, Tom Lauder with the score. I think it's been credited to him. Will Edwards retakes his position. Former England Sevens man. Has certainly looked to bring everyone into the game so far. The sheer volume of substitutes brought by Cardiff is slightly worrying for a commentator like me, but we'll try and work it out as it goes on. Hugh Tizard once again is lurching his way into action.
It's nice on your left. Okay, use now, Quins.
Scott Steele's left boot hoists this one up in the air. Wallace is after it. Morgan. Brilliant take from the Welshman. Reskill. Many seasons you'll remember at Saracens, many trophies for Reskill, now enjoying himself in Cardiff. Wide they go. Good work by Llewellyn again. He's certainly been noticeable. Good in the contact, Llewellyn. Tovey passes it on. Good tackle on James Ratti. More stepping and going. Cardiff a little static, trying to find a little bit of go forward.
Six, he's got to move first.
Jason Tovey, the crossfield kick. Tapped away, and that's a really lovely take in the end under the tensions.
Okay,
yeah, just on that, a great defensive set by Quins, and stopping their momentum means that they have to kick the ball away, and which obviously means that we get it back, but looks like a turnover here.
Indeed.
Second commentator's curse of the day.
I don't think Alex Donbran's going to come back for the second half.
I don't think I'm cut out for this commentator.
Penalty goes to Cardiff.
8 on his feet.
Yeah, good take in the air by Scott Steele, but it all came to nothing, and I think, here it is. He did well under the tension, Scott Steele. Jason Harris trying to whack it as it flew in. No kicks of goal, of course. Penalties are rare things in pre-season games.
7, fellas, 7. 7, full man.
Kirby Myhill. Line out. It's got to be clever here from Cardiff. Look as though they've got the position at the back. Look as though they've got the bodies in the right way. Tizard working hard over the counter, trying to get hold of the ball. Ball comes out to the backs, and in particular Garen Smith. Smith looks and drives those legs over the line almost.
Out of the way, Scott. The ball's there.
Just about held.
Use the line.
But this is good position for Cardiff.
It's still short, use the line.
Short range missiles from here. Again, good, but over the line are they? And I think the arm is in the air from referee Christoph Ridley. Just how difficult is it to defend that sort of line out? What are you trying to do? What are you attempting to do from a Harlequins point of view, Alex?
I guess across all balls, I think the first 3 to 5 seconds are crucial. You know, if the attacking team starts to get momentum, it's very hard to stop. So those first 3 seconds are crucial. And it looked like we did a good job there at Mull to stop it. And then I think, you know, when teams are 2 meters out, 1 meter out, you see the likes of Exeter, it's very hard to defend. You know, I think they brought in new laws this year about the latcher and, you know, players going off their feet to try and make it a bit harder for the attacking team, I guess. But yeah, it's still very hard to defend.
Cardiff organising themselves well at the moment, Christian. You'd be happy as a visiting supporter the way Cardiff are playing?
Very physical. I think that's the point of difference at the moment, is they're just getting that physical dominance up front. We did well to stop that Maul because they actually had a very good set, but we had very good body heights to keep them out. But after that, it just seems as if they're sending big men narrow consistently, and that's the hardest part to stop. So like Alex said, it's hard with those one-on-one tackles within 5 meters of the try line. It's very hard to keep them out.
The conversion is missed. A little bit less than 5 minutes supposedly, although this clock won't have been stopping on the referee's whistle, so there might be a few minutes of extra time as you look at it, but Quins will want to finish this first half as best as they possibly can, most definitely. Edwards with a short restart, and underneath it is Ellis Jenkins, the Wales international. Lengthy time away with a knee injury over the last year or so, and will be certainly wanting to make amends this season. Both him and Shane Lewis-Hughes both injured and long spells on the sidelines.
That time's not exactly right, so don't go off that. It's a bit longer.
There is Shane Lewis-Hughes wearing 6 on his back. Cardiff going nowhere too fast at the moment, just trying to build a position. Jason Tubby is back there. They'll go again.
30
Lawrence.
seconds to go.
Good position over the ball from Scott Steele.
Come off in first, Scott.
The first man in was bad penalised. I think Scott Steele was in a good position, but I maybe looking at it. Do you see that? What happened there?
Looked tough. I think maybe got pinged for going off his feet, but no, it looked like him and Luke Wallace got into a good solid position. I think when Scott Steele's on the pitch, it's like having another back rower. So he's so good over the ball, but yeah, just a bit unlucky there.
Well, our clock may be not the referee's clock, because that is half time. They will traipse in for a little bit of an orange. Your thoughts, Christian? You mentioned it there. Just wrap up if you don't mind. What are you seeing that's good about Quins? What are you seeing that needs to improve about Quins?
When we can hold on to the ball, go through multi-phase and get the ball wide to our dangerous backs, we're hard to deal with. They can't really contain us. But the big thing is, I think we've got parity up front with the forwards and set piece. I think we'll be able to keep them out with the maul, and we're about equal in the scrum. But the biggest thing is those big men coming in short and those narrow hard lines. So if we can deal with that, get a bit more front football, a bit more physical dominance in the second half, will be good.
Do you expect things to change, Alex? Was there a pre-planned idea of 2 halves here this afternoon, for instance? Will there be a very vastly different team out for Quins in the second half?
Yeah, I believe that was the plan. I believe there was 2 teams, sort of a first half team and a second half team. So yeah, I think we can expect quite a few changes. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the next team, if you like, do.
Yeah, just before you go, the Cardiff tries are rolling in. Cardiff fans will no doubt be looking in and listening, and will be pleased with the way that they're being taken and come to the home of the champions and are seemingly doing well, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've obviously been working hard in pre-season. I think it's been paying off. I think they're looking good in attack. They're looking like they've got good continuity, good relationships, good understanding between players. I think look at the try that we're just watching now. The line from the centre there to then go over and get the try was exceptional. So yeah,
a little bit of misdirection here from Tubby. Certainly bought Garen Smith a little bit more space, but well finished off, and it does look that way. It looks as though they seem Cardiff to be communicating a little bit better to a certain extent, but that's only how it is. And you mentioned about physicality. They do look as though they're here to beat a few people up, Christian.
Definitely, I think they're just trying to go through the middle at all times, and whether that's hard running lines from the outside centres or just keeping going forwards around the corner. The hardest thing watching this is a lot of their tries have been from short, close range, and that's the hardest thing to deal with. We're not really getting cut open too much in multi-phase, but it's just the consistent penetration from the small 2, 3, 4 metres and the carries that we're not putting them back with.
And there was something positive to come up with. Tom Lauday eventually getting over the line for Quins, and it's these sort of things that you'll be talking about as a team to look at improve on.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think when we got a good solid platform, and then look to carry hard, and then you know, try and break down the defence. We look good, and then obviously Tommy got his rewards by getting over the line. So I think there's plenty of positives in attack. The way we kept the ball and some of the dummy lines we were running were holding defenders, creating space. So looking forward to seeing much more of the same in the second half.
Well, we're going to have a little bit of a break. The half-time score, Harlequins 7, Cardiff Rugby 26. We'll be back in a little while. Don't go too far.
Pre-season, baby. Let's get it.
On reflection the last sort of month, what you did last season, and especially in that semi-final and final, the love and admiration, and I know a lot of the other staff feel it as well, but I've never reflected like that ever. And yes, we've got challenges ahead. Yes, we're now the hunted. I'm going to talk about all the different challenges that come with being the reigning premiers, but let's keep glowing and reflecting and be really proud and take that confidence into the new season.
What we do is really inspiring, really invigorating. There's something about the tension of coaching and playing in the premiership that I love. The pressure that undulates through the week and through the year. But you couldn't do it if you didn't have a good group of people. You didn't have a real clear identity, which we do here. And you didn't have a really clear purpose. But it's going to be something pretty special, and I'm looking forward to finding out where you think we can take this.
Yeah, stealing. Yes. Ready. Hunt. Ready to go. We need still need bodies, still need attackers in the yellow, lads. Well done, trainers. Control the speed of ball, please, lads. Give them a chance. We'll build into it.
Go. Yes, cheers. White, turn to go. White. Fix it. Red. Go, mate, go. Oh, lovely, Jenners. Move forward. Get through. Low. Nice, boys, nice. Nice whack. Fight their will. Go. Leg drive. Right, get a wrestle.
So this morning we were measuring the boys' body fats. So what we do is we use Isaac protocol, where we take 8 sites from the body and we measure the body fats using calipers. Each player has their own individual needs, and this is based on position, how old they are, how they're developing. It's all about how they perform on the pitch, and that comes first, and then what their body composition is comes second. Someone like Dino Lamb, who's put on a couple of kilos last season, but we really saw gains in lean muscle mass and gains in the gym as well, so his strength was really high. What we did with him, put him under a hypertrophy program. We put him under a diet plan, a supplement program that really helped sort of promote those gains in muscle mass. And that was looking at things that he does in and around training. So what does he come in, what is he eating, what is he having for lunch, post-training, but also looking at what he's doing in his off days as well, and how we can continue to promote those gains in muscle mass throughout the training week. What we try and do at the club is really promote like a food first approach. That's the number one thing, and try and develop a culture around food. So you've seen like today we have a great culture in the performance kitchen. We have two new chefs that are helping drive that message across. We take it sort of a joint approach. So we might get some information from the coaches, we might get some information from the strength and conditioning coaches, how they're performing in the gym. But then, the number one thing is how does the player feel as well, and we'll make sure we sit down as a group and get a target together, and then put something in place that helps promote that target. Usually it could be over a matter of weeks, short-term targets. Then we might have that long-term target as well.
Pretty simple. Today's just going to be getting you into a bit of circuit training. It's about a 7 out of 10, so this is definitely not going as hard as you can.
Yeah, it's been good. I think it's been the right balance. Yesterday, obviously the legs were feeling a bit tired after the rugby, but no, now I feel good to go. Looking forward to tomorrow, and I think it'll be the same again. I think tomorrow's going to be really hard, but over the weekend you'll also get a chance to recover and fly into next week. And it's just important we keep building week to week, because as I said, it's 5 weeks until our first pre-season game, which is probably shorter than we've had in a while. So it's just important we build and don't do anything too stupid, and just make sure we can hit the season running.
6 lengths as fast as you can. Yeah, we've been doing some introductory swimming as a part of their fitness sessions. It's fairly new that we've been adding in, and we're doing it as a means of general fitness for them, because as you can imagine, in this high stress period during pre-season, we want to kind of deload them but also get the most out of every session. So it's just a really nice way to get some good general fitness adaptations whilst putting as little stress on the body as possible. Forwards wise, they're the impressive ones because they're the big heavy guys. You've got Matt Simmons, which is crazy that he's amazing at swimming, Tom Lorde, James Chisholm, and then in the backs you've got the other Chisholm, Ross Chisholm, Mr. Liner is fantastic at it, and then you've got the guys that you'd expect, like the Staffords, the Steels. They're the good swimmers as well.
With a feeder on the red. So Will, you're going to carry overs again. So I'm defending my inside shoulder, front foot loaded, shoulders forward coming up, and then there we go. Happy? Okay, so keep rolling it around, boys. Let's go. Oh, back there, man. Good adjust on that one.
Been trying to get to know the new boys as much as possible and try and help them settle in. But yes, it's been good so far. I'm really enjoying the training at the moment and looking forward to the weeks ahead. We'll look to try and play the same way that we played last season, with that expansive style of rugby. We want to attack, we want to play with the ball in our hands, but obviously we've got to defend as well. We've got to improve the defensive side of our game and not concede as many points. But yeah, no, not much changes, little tweaks here and there, but all the boys are really excited to get going.
Everybody's been very welcoming. Had a few sessions outside, a few fitness sessions as well. So we're trying to get into a groove of things now. But it's really, really good. I'm really excited to be here, and I can't wait to start the season now as well. There's a lot of emphasis on our recovery as well here, which is good. But we do work very hard when we do work. I guess pre-season is like that everywhere in the world. But I think the way they look after their players as well here is fundamental. And yeah, it's a bit different maybe to where I was previously.
Last one. Yes, Tommy. Here we go, Staff. Right. Yes, you.
Come on.
Nice lad. 30 seconds left. 2 minutes. 45. Yeah, right. 90. I'll have it right. Come on, Phil.
You've been done so badly. You've been done so badly.
That was a dummy. It's a free kick.
Dummy was so good. It was 2-3.
Well, I can't vote for myself, so Lewis Jasper.
Definitely not Jack Stafford. He's dreadful. We're probably not the best team, but it's about being here, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Luke Northmore, he was creating some internal conflicts within our team.
That's not my fault.
A lot.
We're the best team here by far.
Pre-season, baby. Let's get.
Welcome back to the Harlequins home ground, the Twickenham Stoop. There is the half-time score if you're If you're just joining us, thank you. Alex Donbran just bought me some water. Thank you, Alex. And Christian Scotland Williamson is alongside me, having a lovely chat. I wish we could broadcast some of the stuff that you were saying. Fantastic stuff about your journey into the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers and all of that went on it. But you were talking a little bit about the intensity change and getting used to it. I mean, I found that really interesting. These games are 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours long. It must have taken a real adjustment from 80 minutes worth of rugby.
Most definitely. It's the physical as well as the mental side. Sometimes you'd warm up and then you wouldn't actually start playing for 40 minutes once you get through the national anthems, every game, and all of the toin costs and all of things like that. So comparatively, where you do a 30-minute warm-up, go into the change rooms for a team talk, come back out and you're ready to go, blood's pumping, adrenaline's there, it's really hard to carry that focus and that intensity when you've warmed up effectively 4 hours is the time frame that you have to be ready to go, and sometimes you're not on the pitch for 30 minutes at a time if the opposition have a long drive. So staying ready, staying engaged with the game is often quite challenging.
Really fascinating. If there's a break in play, we might ask you a few more questions, get a bit more out of you if you don't mind, Christian. Meanwhile, there have been a lot of changes, and quite frankly, I don't know how I'm going to cope in this second half. I apologise in advance. There are players on the pitch without numbers on. There are players on the pitch with numbers that previously correlated to other players as well. We will try and get as much right as we possibly can. And we'll try and get you the team news and feed it through to you and show you who's involved in various different ways. Hopefully I'll have some help from the Harlequins players alongside me. I'm joined, Sam Roberts here in commentary alongside Alex Donbran and Christian Scotland Williamson. A relatively disappointing first half for Harlequins, but as we know with this team, anything is possible. And Scott Steele lifts the ball into the sky. Matthew Morgan comes after it. It bounces off him. Dino Lamb is scurrying back to try and collect it. Number 17 on his back. Who's that? No, nothing? No? 17.
Trying to see.
Yeah. See if you don't know. I think it might be a youngster. Would it be Baxter?
Yeah, Finn Baxter.
There you go.
So you've got a front row made up of Finn, Sam Riley still on, and Simon Kerrod.
Yeah, I saw Simon Kerrod is on. We also have Tommy Allen on the field at fly half. Tommaso Allen. Tommy Allen to his English friends, one of which I've just found out is Christian Scotland Williamson, who went to school with Tommy Allen.
Old school friends from RGS High Wycombe.
There you go, you see. He knows all his secrets. Tyrone Green on, Lewis Liner on, and that's more like it. Liner through the gap. Liner, which way does he go? Liner, which way does he pass it? Tyrone Green! Lewis Liner!
That's Queen's Rugby.
As if the summer we'd forgotten about Lewis Liner. Unbelievable. Alex Donbran, talk us through that.
Special, he's a special player. Yeah, extremely quick. Got shown the outside by the Cardiff defender and gladly took it, and then a lovely delicate offload to Tyrone Green to finish it off. So yeah, look,
he's powerful as well. He's strong. Yeah. He's powerful. He's got the all-court game.
No, a great try, and yeah,
Green always there on hand, like any good winger, just in case.
Yeah, that's something that we coach a lot and try and learn a lot, is those support lines. You know, the Quins way, we want to try and keep the ball alive, so it's important that the ball carrier has support inside and out of him.
That's more like it. That's what the fans came for, isn't it, Christian?
Oh, most definitely. You smile when you see that.
Luke Wallace is carrying bottles. He's just come off the field and he's carrying bottles. For old Lukey Wallace, eh? Harlequin strike back. Let's put a smile on my co-commentators' faces. Let's put a smile on the face of most people here at the Twickenham Stoop. Ball is in the air again. Steele again. Allen stabs it through. Esterhazen is interested. How does he do it?
Magician. The dexterity there was incredible.
I'll go back for the penalty. I mean, I didn't reckon on him gathering this. I certainly then didn't reckon...
And then the offload.
Scott Steele was a surprise to anyone to get that, isn't he? Who's the young lad playing outside him? Is that...
So you've got Andre,
Lennox or
Tyrone, and then Lennox.
Lennox it is. Lennox Ayanwu.
Good attacking intent to play through the penalty advantage there. Almost had something special come off.
And the expectation in the crowd bubbles again. Line out, well grabbed.
Good set.
Strong. Good set, says Christian. Scott Williamson alongside me. Ball pokes out for Steele to get his mitts on it. Esterhazen again, working hard to present. Round the corner they come. Tizard, good hands. Strong work. Allen again. Shout goes up. That is the 22-yard line. Out the back they go. Allen, missed pass. Tyrone Green again. Green, almost shaped to pop it back inside, but Ayanwu. Finn Baxter called into action. Delay on the pass from Allen. Lewis Liner involved again.
Great phase play here.
Quinn's certainly holding on to the ball, making inroads, much like Cardiff did in that first half. Now it's the men in blue and black that's their turn to defend. Good offload. People come round the corner, scurrying into position. Caden Murley looking dangerous. Cardiff having to be cute. Right in the shadow of the post, this. Baxter, I think it is, who takes it on. Men in the way. In from the side come Cardiff rather obviously. Max Llewellyn, good quick hands. Oh, was that a tap? Was that a tap? Liner makes amends and looks around at the officials. I think they'll have a chat here. Adam Leal on the far side. They'll have something sorting out here. What was that as you looked at it? Your suspicions raised? I don't want you to talk about referees, boys, but it did look as though the Cardiff centre here just gets his hand in.
He can't catch that, in my opinion.
No, he can't. It's Jason Harris who's destroying things, and I think they're going to go. Are they going to play advantage and give the try to Lewis Liner? In normal play, they might have looked at that and might have given a penalty try. That's an interesting situation, though. He's given. If this was a real match, he's given a try there. When you looked at the penalty try, 7 points guaranteed. You'd prefer that, wouldn't you? I mean, obviously, Liner wouldn't, but
yeah, I'm not sure about the ruling on that because I know Marcus got done for a penalty in the final and then they scored.
Yeah.
And he then got yellow carded for that. So you would have thought that there should be a yellow card for the Blues player there.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Maybe in a pre-season, maybe not. But
yeah,
it's an interesting one. I'm just trying to make sure I've got everyone. Kenning's on the field without a number. Who else is in the pack?
Got Matas.
Matas is on. It's not even on my list.
Late caller.
I'll be having words with your press department. It's a one-score game at the Twickenham Stoop. And Jan were underneath the ball. Archie White. Down in the 22. Steele. Nice kick to touch, inch perfect from the young scrum half. Quite a footballer, Scott Steele. Yes, I mean, does he show his skills off? I mean, I understand he played sort of football in Scotland, correct?
Yeah, any chance to get his Scotland shirt out, he'll do it. No, very good footballer, and I think he showed that with that clearance there, from just inside the 22 all the way up to the halfway. That's every forward's dream to look back on the ruck and be up on the halfway. So great kick from Stevie.
And just as we mentioned him, he comes off the field. Dina Lamb also making his way off. I will also try and work out who's come on. Who's playing at scrum half?
Jack Stafford.
Jack Stafford.
Yeah, Jack Stafford and George Hammond have come on.
None of them wearing numbers.
Yeah, Jack Stafford, similar to Lewis Jaltimer in terms of game time last season, so that's a great opportunity for him to stick his hand up today and show what he can do.
Just how difficult is that on that point of not playing rugby? I mean, a lot of youngsters will be tuning in here, they'll come and watch the games at the Stoop and they'll say, oh, I want to be a rugby player, I want to play in the Premiership. But often, as the players you mentioned there, being a professional rugby player is also about not playing rugby. You know, talk about how that works.
Yeah, it's tough. Unfortunately, only 23 people can get on the pitch on the weekend. So I think it's important to just stick at it and work hard. I think Jack Stafford's got one of the best work ethics I've seen in a professional rugby player. He's always doing his extras. He's always out on the training field to make himself better. So you just got to keep working hard, and when you get your opportunity, make sure you take it.
Tubby's Crossfield kick is going to be too long. Summerhill is frustrated. And a chance for another line out. Must be quite tricky, Christian, with new players coming into the game to renegotiate the line-out calls and things. I mean, obviously you'll all have the squad ones, but again, just making sure this works as best as it possibly can.
Keep it simple, make sure everyone knows what they're doing, and execute. That's all you can hope for in a pre-season game.
Up it comes, and Christoph Ridley lets it go. A little nod of the head, almost, yes, intercepted by Garen Smith. Read by the Cardiff centre, and he scampers underneath the posts. And frustration for Harlequins. No, certainly, but really well read, and you saw it coming from a long way off.
I don't think the line out straight in the first place. Oh, fine. I'll have a look next time. You haven't quite got that
press
yet, all game.
Rewarding Garen Smith. And the man who's over 100 appearances for the Cardiff region gets another score.
Yeah, Quinn's looking just to go wide there and try and get outside into the 15-metre channel and into the wide spaces. Just unfortunately, it was a good read from the 13 there to get the intercept. On another day, it could have easily missed it, and Lennox was away. So it's a game of fine margins.
Indeed, it is. Jason Tubby, however, adds the extra points. And we're back to a two-score game. And Jason Tubby has played his last.
Jack Walker now on the pitch. I think he's come on for Sam Riley as well for the last 25 minutes of the game. So
again, another good young hooker into the fold. Jack Walker time with Bath, of course, and originally out of the Yorkshire Carnegie Academy.
9, use it. Right foot.
Cardiff back in their own 22. Fired back to the rather recognisable figure of Rhys Priestland, who is on the pitch for Cardiff. Signing over the summer, of course, from Bath. Back in Wales, Rhys Priestland. And very welcome. Certainly showed some real quality last season for Bath, and a little bit surprised that he went, but Cardiff are very happy to welcome him. Another relatively decent line out from Quins. Round the corner they come. It breaks up. Nick David, no, it's not. Out wide it goes, Liner again. Last thing you know is juggling with it.
If he ends up on the ground and the whole thing goes over him, then it's a collapse.
Really impressive maul set there. Great body height, and to be able to come away with the penalty advantage there is a great outcome.
Yeah, great to see George Hammond running the line out. Another academy boy coming through, running the line out. It's not an easy job. So yeah, no, great to see him and Hugh in the row leading the line out.
How much work would you do in conjunction with the academy so that when those players make the move, make the change, that they are ready and used to it? Do you get together as squads? Do you overlap a little bit?
Yeah, probably just little bits here and there. So I would speak to the back row boys, and I'd always feel like they can always come to me and speak to about things that they want to improve and what I think about certain situations. But speaking with Hugh and George Hammond there, I know Matt Simmons and Stefan Louise work really closely with them. Obviously two great second rows in themselves, working with the academy, and it's paying off in terms of them two running the line out.
Certainly good position this for Harlequins. 5 metres out. Round the corner they come. Again, Cardiff having to wrestle in the shadow of their posts. Ball goes to the floor. Stafford, good line. Esterhazen reaching. Now that's a little bit more like it. It certainly has Christian Scotland Williamson nodding alongside me. And that's good conversion.
Great physical dominance. The roles are reversed.
Indeed.
Big men running short.
Indeed. And there aren't many better at running that sort of line than Andre Esterhazen. Talk about a figure like Andre Esterhazen. You come into the squad, there will be people around that you will be looking to take little cues off, little moments off, and he's one of them. There'll be others. Who do you, when you're looking around the changing room, who are you looking to follow the lead off, as it were?
The man right next to me, Alex Donbran. The future, the chosen one. No, it's good to come in, and especially after a long absence from rugby, be surrounded by such talent with attacking intent and such great ball skills and ball handling. I just can't wait to get back out on the pitch and with these guys to show what I can do, and hopefully add to the same skill set and be able to really penetrate some holes.
Alex mentioned Stefan Levy's, mentioned Matt Simmons. You know, there are good people around in your position that you, I'm sure, will be looking over the shoulder of.
Oh, most definitely. Matt and Steph have been extremely welcoming for me, and as line-out callers, you kind of all have to stick together anyway.
Summer barbecues, that sort of thing. Stafford trying to keep the ball in play. Murley, good tackle. Cardiff down the right-hand touchline a little bit of space. Tyrone Green has to be clever. He has two for company, and he's going to be held up. They've got underneath him. They're going to shepherd him into touch, and a good result for the men in blue.
6 and 7 change, lads. 6 and 7.
Yeah, both Cardiff players getting in a good position underneath Tyrone Green. What's Tyrone Green like, Alex Donbran? Because in my mind, I imagine he does everything quickly. Does he? Is he different? Is he quite laid back?
No, yeah, he does do everything quickly. He does. But no, he's a great character around the change room. He's into his the cartoon stuff, the anime, is it? Yeah, he loves his anime. I think he's got like a Dragon Ball Z tattoo on his calf, I think. He loves that sort of stuff. But no, he's a great character around the team, and he adds a lot on and off the pitch. So yeah.
I'm not 100% sure whether you're just setting us up here or setting him up, more to the point. Cardiff, missed pass, knocked on. Door slightly ajar on the right-hand side, but pass didn't quite go to hand.
Tackle off the ball.
Didn't quite work out for Jason Harris on the far side.
What do I do if you block that?
Sam Moore on the field wearing 27. Harry Millard as well in the centre for Cardiff. Harlequins have got to be watertight here. They're asking questions again. Brad Tyre. Good counter hit coming in there. Finn Back still working hard just to try and disrupt things. Cardiff will be looking to try and find the right door.
It's an arm, it's not a bind.
They come towards the posts, but unfortunately the man in front was there illegally, so to speak, and the ball will be back with a Harlequins feed to this scrum.
So that third man isn't latching, he's just at an arm's length. If his shoulder's on, it's a latch. Yes, it's confusing, but it's okay.
And William Bradley, I think, is on as well, wearing 25 on his back.
And that's what they're asking here about the third guy.
And another academy project for the Cardiff club. Good things said about him. And some more substitutions. Sean Moore and Ethan Lloyd and Emmanuel Faye Wabusu, the latter of which has played a little bit of first class or first team rugby, Cardiff. The scrum turns into a penalty for Harlequins, and Tommaso Allen does a little bit of gardening.
Yeah, great scrum from Simon, Jack Walker and Finn there to get the penalty.
Simon Kerrod just on the outskirts of Eddie Jones's mind. Fine pop forward. South African by birth, but very much in Eddie Jones's contention.
Okay, we'll play on, he's going. Ollie.
Up they go, down they come. Allen with the hands in the ball, Esther Hazen shuddering doors as he goes. As well to hold on. Kenningham plays scrum half. There is Kerrod. He is repulsed. Doesn't make anything out of it. Baxter, involved, and Stafford back into a position of 9. Ordering people around.
Okay, Quins, use the ball now. Don't hold him, please.
Slightly longer position. Gives Stafford an opportunity in which to kick. Good takeaway again. I think that's Matthew Morgan. And Cardiff get a bit of a ball time. Ollie Robinson with the scrum cap there for Cardiff. Wants of Bristol, of course, and famous father. Good tackle following up by Faye Wabusu. Quick tap penalty. Green. Is he injured? Whistle goes, and just have a look at him. Injured in that tumble there. Medics are on. A couple of people taking attention. And we may have a little break in play. Christian Scotland Williamson alongside me. I just want to go back and talk about, you know, the things that you obviously went and learned and coming back into it. Just how much, I asked you this and you explained to how much did your rugby experience count in American football? What did they see in your rugby game that was beneficial to American football?
I think it's the difference in having to develop multiple skills. American football is very specialised, probably one of the most specialised sports in the world. And so the fact that I came in with a broad skill set meant that I was mouldable, I could be coached. And it was a difference between playing on the defensive side of the ball and playing an attacking position, which I chose to play in the end. But the biggest thing I would say is being able to absorb hits. The first time I was hit hard in a game was my first catch, and on camera it looked like I got blown up. But I got up and I thought, that is the best tackle feeling I've ever had in my life, because the pads, the helmet, it all makes such a difference. I felt like I was kind of in a Tuesday training session in rugby, so it was very promising from that regard, in terms of I was physically conditioned for the fight.
I heard you talking about tackle technique as well, and the fact that, you know, they teach it slightly differently over in the States, and your technique was kind of brought to other people's attention.
Yes, so in rugby you usually use cheek-to-cheek method, you wrap your arms and squeeze, whereas in American football they go head across the body, because it's a game of inches. The difference between a foot or a centimetre could be a first down, and the difference between the attack or defence getting off the field, so they try and stop the man and ball dead in their tracks.
Cardiff come into the midfield. Ethan Lloyd firing the ball out now from scrum half. Lloyd again. Stays and hits the floor, gets out of his way. Lloyd, Robinson. Priestland hangs the ball up in the air. Good take in the end, I think. Murley was underneath that. At the back, Esterhuizen is in the mood for it this afternoon. Archie White did well to gather that. Stafford gives something for his players to chase. Priestland gathers well. Lloyd again. Morgan almost deceived himself, and then the opposition.
Reece, you need to get that sorted.
Out wide, this is the youngster Emmanuel Faye-Wabusa, just sorted out and into touch on the far side, and a little bit of afters. Pre-season friendlies are a little bit of an oxymoron. I don't think I've ever had a friendly game of rugby. It never ends up friendly. Another change as we look at the replay there. The man bundled into touch. More people coming on. So what about you, Alex Donbran? How involved, or how keen to be involved are you? Will you be involved with us next season, next weekend?
Yeah, no, very keen to be involved. Yeah, hopefully we'll be involved next week against Leinster. So yeah, I've only had a couple of weeks, 3 weeks of training. So yeah, hopefully be involved next week, and then into the season. Then it's been a nice short pre-season, which is just the way I like it. So yeah, now looking forward to getting involved.
Hugh Tizard comes off to rapturous applause. Luke Northmore goes back on. Murley is going to make his way off as well.
Yeah, I think we had Will Trenholm come on for Hugh there, I think.
Yeah. And Esterhuizen's going to make his way off. So I think we'll have a young move into 12.
If you can do it this way, that's good for us to do as well, isn't it? I suppose you should put a new one on, shouldn't you?
Early having a little bit of a stretch. Yeah, good crowd packed in here at the Twickenham Stoop. Great to have them back and along. Just that noise, unmistakable. Live crowd at Live Sport.
Numbers, lads. 6. Okay, when you're ready, turn back on.
Ball is well gathered by George Hammond. He's conspicuous at the moment, Hammond, having a good 20 minutes or so. Stafford. And Yanwu. Good step from the young man. Gets himself away from the tackler. Then presents the ball. Harlequins through the phases. Kerrod. Big hit there and reeling back from it, Quillan Bailey. And Yanwu. Green. Stepping, going. And that's Cassius Cleves on the field. Ooh, they speak very highly of in these parts, Cassius Cleves. One to watch, certainly. Again, good, quick ball. Allen, beautifully played out. Cleves, down the left-hand side, Harlequins come. Big step, lovely offload. What about that? A round of applause across the board for that score for Luke Northmore. He was the grateful recipient. Some really nice work done. The tight space of the left-hand side, Alex Donbran.
Yeah, great work from Will Chenholm down the far side, and then an outrageous offload into Luke Northmore. Great work from the young lad.
Yeah, really neat stuff. Neat interplay. We'll have it here. Christian, what are you seeing that's good here?
Great delay from Tommy to get the ball out wide into the wide channels. And then here it's about composure, pace, and the support line. What an offload.
Yeah, really nice nice finish, and I don't know if you spotted it, but Luke Northmore immediately signalled that he should come off after that. I think he's staying on. Ross Chisholm is coming back on as well. His day is not done. Lots of changes. Commentator's nightmare. I do apologise if I'm getting things wrong. Hopefully you're staying with us. The pictures do the business anyway. And it's Tyrone Green who's going to come off. He's not doing that quickly. Neat take from Northmore.
Okay, use now, please.
Clearance from Stafford. I know during a season, Alex, that you would do a lot of studying of a game. How much studying of a pre-season game is there? And do you break it down? Do you look at it in a different way than you would do during a season, a game like this?
No, to be fair, actually, there was a big focus on us this week. We didn't watch hardly anything of Cardiff. It was about what we want to bring and what we want to implement into the game. So yeah, I think in pre-season there's a big emphasis on what you want to put out onto the pitch and how you want to play and what style of rugby you want to perform. To see so many fans back in the stadium, isn't it?
No, you don't need to speak, do you, when that sort of thing happens? It's just lovely.
it. Alright, let's see if they play away.
Stafford and Yanwu first receiver. Tommaso Allen does well to juggle with that, hold on to it. Kenningham is involved. Kenning bustling his way through like an angry shopper. Ball over the top from Allen. He's done that a couple of times, just dummied the first go and then floated it beautifully like it was on a piece of string. Oh, ball clamped over Cardiff. It goes Harlequins' way. The Cardiff bench in front of me reel in disgust, as is their wont, of course.
Still advantage for our feet.
Stafford, Allen out the back to Chisholm, and Yanwu through the gap, back inside. Kenningham looking, stepping. Where is he going? He's over the sideline.
You love to see it.
I've spoken a couple of times to Jack Kenningham, and his personality suits the way he plays rugby. Am I right? He's just a guy that just loves it. He absolutely loves it, Alex Donbran.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. No, a great try, a great finish. You just got to let him go out there and do his thing, you know.
Take him off the leash. Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. I think, Saturday game time, and it's his time to just go crazy. But no, a great try, a great finish, and running rings around the Cardiff defenders.
Indeed.
And they were trying to get back. They were trying to stay up as well, weren't they?
Christian, you seem as though this is doing you a favour, just to be here as a fan at this point in time and just soak this in and realise. I mean, I know you would have known what you were coming into, but this really solidifies it, doesn't it?
Oh, most definitely. The Stoop is a very special place. It's nice to actually be back watching live rugby with a crowd. It's what it's all about, and it makes me just even more keen to get back.
Yeah, and a little bit of Kenningham magic. Pushes Harlequins in front. Priestland with a headband on now. Cardiff with a thing to say of their own. Sean Moore making inroads. Priestland again. Lloyd comes back this way. They're all trying to continue the phase play, and Lloyd has to go digging for it, and the referee helps him out by giving them a penalty.
You can't go on the ball if 18's lying there.
And I'm sure the kick to the corner will come. Priestland does just that. Bit of work for Harlequins to do here, and as much as we've enjoyed the tries, you know, pre-season games are all about this sort of thing as well, aren't they, Christian?
Exactly. This is the kind of test you want to see where you are, see where your pack is in terms of the maul defence, attitude, and the approach to killing it dead in the contest.
Christian Dacey is going to throw it in, get his arrows right. I think there's a little hesitation on the throw, and referee Christoph Ridley has picked it up and said no, dummy of a throw, and a free kick which will be frustrating for the visitors.
Just under.
Tommy Allen with the duty to kick it out. I was asking you know him. When the fans call his name, he is Tommy Allen or Tommaso Allen?
It depends on which nationality he's choosing for the day. As a English, Scottish, South African, Italian, it's sometimes Tommaso, sometimes Tommy.
Cardiff against that backdrop of wonderfully sung, almost a hymn down here in southwest London. Penalty advantage coming. Quins can make it work on this near side. Allen dabs it through. Morgan has to hurry himself back into position. Liner is after him. But Morgan is away. Morgan eventually finds his teammates. And Cardiff will break. Almost could have got that away. Might have been danger. Robinson. Good continuation play here from Cardiff. Reece and Stoop wearing 24 on his back. And taking a little bit of attention on the near side. Might get in the way soon. Brad Thayer. Yeah, and I think they will bring it to a halt because I think there's a little bit of an injury to a hand on this near side. I meant to ask you, Alex, obviously you went to university down in Cardiff. Was this team that's visiting today, did you ever go along? Did you think, oh, this would be a good option for me?
Yeah, no, I went and watched a couple of times to the Arms Park to watch them. Yeah, I actually did speak to Cardiff Blues, which was their name at the time. But yeah, it would have meant that I'd have to have left uni in my second year, and I wanted to make sure that I finished university. I'd done 2 years, it was the start of my third year. I wanted to make sure that I finished my degree to obviously come away with something. But no, Cardiff's a great city. I've got fond memories there, and yeah, fond memories of the Arms Park, which I was lucky enough to play on for Cardiff Met.
Have they got the equivalent of Infernos?
There's lots of options in Cardiff. Actually, it's a great night out for sure. There's a club for every day of the week in Cardiff. So yeah.
Not that you went.
Strictly academic, me.
It's good to hear you being so serious about your academia. Ridley this time points skyward the way of Cardiff, and Priestland will get another chance to knock it into the Harlequins. We haven't had a 50-20, we haven't had any, not even a sniff of that. Nothing. They might not be as proper as people think. They might not be. I mean, there's a pre-season game slightly different, but you never know.
I'll have to pull one out, won't I?
I tell you what, I will come down here and buy you as many drinks as you want if you do it, okay?
That's a deal. If it goes wrong, I'll be in big trouble.
Harlequins got it in their own 22, and try scorer Northmore is off, and Cassius Cleves is doing just that, cleaving big holes in the Cardiff defence. Ross Chisholm brought to ground. There's numbers all the way out here. There's hands up out wide. Alex Donbran alongside me is pointing to them himself as if to say. And Anyanwu, crossfield kick. It's going to hang in the air. How does it bounce? Backwards and in! I tell you what, that's a party piece.
Great way to finish that.
That's George Hammond, is it?
Yeah. George Hammond tapped it back in, I think, and Will Trenholm got the try.
So he stole the line out and scored the try. Second row's dream.
I tell you what, I mean, if you're watching this and weren't thinking of coming along to the Twickenham Stoop this season, I would cancel your plans and make sure you get down here. There is some crazy things going to happen this season. They really will. You can just sense it. It's great fun. Really good fun. I mean, you were pointing at it. It's one thing to see it, another thing. And Yanwu probably not called upon usually to put that kick in and pitch perfect.
Yeah, no, look, great identification of the space from Lenny there, and to be able to execute a crossfield kick is a difficult task, and he done it perfectly. So, full credit to him.
Especially with forwards waiting on the other end.
Because they'd remind him if he didn't do it, they'd say, wouldn't they?
Exactly.
And it worked an absolute peach. the post. But it is the spoils that go Harlequins' way in this pre-season friendly. They will meet again. Small matter of Leinster sandwiched in between, but Harlequins' defence of their title is off and running in pre-season style. Still a long way to go. Final thoughts on that then. Try and sum it all up. Alex Donbran, thank you for joining us this afternoon. I think you've been absolutely brilliant. Tell us what you think. What would you be saying to those players out there about what you've seen this afternoon?
I think firstly, overall it's great to have a good hit out first and foremost, and I think we'll be really pleased with a lot of aspects of that performance. I think some of our attacking intent was great. I think it probably took us a bit of time to grow into the game, but I think that's only natural in a first pre-season game. And there's definitely areas that we'll look to improve on, but that's the whole point of pre-season. So overall, I think we'll be really pleased, and there's nothing better to kick off pre-season with a win.
And Christian, it's as good as you hoped, isn't it?
It's even better live with a crowd. You couldn't ask for more. I think that second half they came out firing. I barely even noticed that they brought the score back to parity and then took the lead, so that's always a good sign when they're scoring tries at will and cutting the other team in half. So I think that first half was just a bit of rust, first match jitters, but you really saw the team grow in the second half and be able to get a good platform, good stolen line-up ball, which is always promising from a young second row as well.
The second half highlights are just playing out, and you know, it started absolute whiz-bang. Liner again, and it must be pleasing to see these sorts of players finding the reins so quickly again, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's crucial for our attacking players to find their feet as quickly as possible, as you know, we're into the season in a couple of weeks, so we need these boys firing, and it's great to see them opening their legs and scoring some great tries.
Yeah, and communication and Tyrone Green rounding it off, but it is all about just getting those pieces of the jigsaw to fit together, Christian.
Yeah, most definitely. To have that kind of continuity in the second half, in the first pre-season game, picking up where we left off from the final, it's just really encouraging because you can clean up the other bits. You can clean up the knock-ons, the drop passes, the forward passes and things like that, but to be able to have that attacking intent and will to play this early in the season is really promising.
So let's just stay with you. Pretend you're a coach, okay? Who's caught your eye today? I'm just going to give you one name, just one person who you think has made a little bit more. I know that's difficult, it's horrible, because he would definitely come and find you and buy you a beer, and the others won't, but is there someone?
I'm going to be a bit biased. I'm going to go for someone new to the system. My old schoolmate Tommy Allen. I thought he marshalled that second half really well. I think you saw his international class, how he held onto the ball, got the ball into the wide channels appropriately, and really moved the ball and marshalled the field really well. So I'll hand it to him in terms of how he got everyone into the game and was the general.
Same question to you, Alex. I know it's unfair. This sport is not an individual sport, but you know, there will be people saying, "Oh, I hope I have a good pre-season." Anyone that caught your eye?
Yeah, no, I was impressed with George Hammond and the way he came on and run the line out. It's like I said earlier, it's no easy task to run the line out at such a young age, and I thought he did that great. And obviously to get that line out still at the end is pretty good work from him.
Absolutely. Slightly different test next weekend. Going away, does that change anything? Or is that all part and parcel of being a team and travelling together and getting that going?
Yeah, no, it's part and parcel. Obviously, we're back in the Champions Cup as well this season, so we've got to get used to travelling away to different countries. So no, it's going to be a tough test. Obviously, Leinster are a renowned powerhouse in the game, so yeah, it'll be a tough test, but we're all looking forward to getting out there.
We're just watching Will Trentholm do his stuff down the left-hand side there, Christian. There were and are some very good youngsters. You were a youngster once, obviously. Talk to me about how the mentality of getting this opportunity, but also just letting it simmer a little bit, not going too hard, too fast. You've got to be patient.
There's that natural tension, isn't there, when you're a young player coming through. You want your opportunity, you're itching for it, but it's also the other end, which is trying to stay calm enough to take it. So the biggest thing for this group of young players is they've got a great group of veterans in the team, guys like Danny Kerr, Joe Marler, to guide them through, but also understanding that it doesn't matter your age, as long as you're performing and playing at the best of your ability, you will get the opportunity, and it's just up to you to take it.
And players like Kenningham show that if you do take your opportunity, it's given to you. Do you know what I mean? You get it here at this club. They will trust it to young heads.
Most definitely, and that's what a sustainable club is all about. It's about giving young guys the opportunity to shine. And also you need that youthful recklessness sometimes where people would be willing to fly into things, not thinking about the consequences.
Indeed, and that's the final piece, and a nice shot there of them coming together and being a team, and that is what it's all about this season. My huge thanks to Christian Scotland, Williamson and Alex Donbran for being alongside me. You enjoy it? I mean, obviously your commentator's curse played a part. You come back maybe?
Yeah, there's only 2 of them, and that's not bad for the first one, surely.
And fascinating to hear your insights, and good luck. Get yourself back fit. Love to see you folding chairs again in the Premiership. We're great.
Oh, I can't wait.
Thank you very much indeed from all of us here at the Twickenham Stoop. A very good afternoon and goodbye.